In light of a recent incident, I'm going to do my best to talk about freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and freedom of the press. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I want to do something that I normally don't do on this channel, which is talk about specific current events in the news. And in this case, it's something that some people might find a little bit controversial, but still I think that this is a very important topic. I am, of course, talking about the importance of free speech, freedom of expression, and especially freedom of the press. Do we have that in Taiwan? Do we have it in Canada, where I'm from? Does Taiwan have freedom of the press? Can journalists write and say whatever they want in Taiwan? Can the news or other YouTubers show my face on TV or online without my permission? Am I even allowed to film this video in public without asking consent from any of these people? The reason I'm filming this video today is because I don't know if you've heard about it or not, but recently there was a British YouTuber, Brendan Kavanagh. He was playing his music at a public piano at a busy train station in the UK. During his performance, you could see in the background a group of people dressed in red and holding Chinese flags. Is this video going to be too controversial? As I said, I don't usually make videos like this, but I just thought this was such an interesting story. Anyway, this group, they were seen on camera at first apparently enjoying his music for a while, but then they realized that actually Brendan was actually recording a live stream for his YouTube channel at the time, and they were indeed in the shot in the background, and they approached him, and that's when things took a turn. So at this point, one of the women came up to him and told him that he's not allowed to film them because they are part of a Chinese TV crew. Apparently they were there in the train station at the time filming something for Lunar New Year. And the woman told him that part of their production contract stated that no part of their production could be shared online ahead of its release. So they approached him and they asked him, rather politely I would say, if he could please delete the video that he was recording.
So basically, we will much appreciate it when you are, whatever you're doing, that you don't put our face on TV.
Yes.
We just very sensitive about this issue. I'm really sorry, but we love your music.
Yeah.
Just make sure that we are very secure in the reason that we don't want our voice or picture being filmed. All of us, we cannot share our images online.
Right.
Yeah, there's no reason. That's our choice. That's our right.
Oh, sorry.
This is not your fault, obviously, and this is not our fault, obviously. That we have our own agreement with other people that we cannot be shown online. If you are recording us, that when we are saying this, you're still recording, and then we will put a legal action into it.
So after that, Brendan went on to say that since he is in a public place, and this was the UK, that he is indeed allowed to film. He has a right to film. Well, now it gets a little bit intense.
But we're in public.
Yeah, exactly. No sharing.
So we're not allowed
no
to share?
Yes, no sharing us.
Please share me.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. But we're in a free country, mate.
That's true.
We're
You
not
are in a free
communist
country.
China now, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is racist now.
We're in a free country, mate. We can film where we want. When you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. Sorry.
Sorry, we don't want to do it. Yeah, sorry.
You don't want to do what?
Yeah,
To share our image.
To share our image.
Well, then
online.
you've got to walk away then. Yes, and
Definitely.
anyone can film because in the UK it's a free country
That's
and anyone
but
can
we
film.
have image.
Anyway, I don't want to show the whole video. It is quite long, and eventually the police do get involved. And actually, the British police officer, she asks him to delete the footage, and he refuses, saying that this is in fact a free speech issue, and that in the UK, he has a right to film in public by law.
They've requested that the video where they've approached gets deleted and not used on your channel.
No, they don't
because
have
there's
that
money
right.
being made and they work for a company that their faces can't be shown on
Well, they
TV
should
on
be.
somebody's channel.
If that's, you're not their private security agent.
I'm not their private security agent.
And we're in a free country. We're in a free space. We're not causing you trouble. The problem is not from us, Kerry. The problem is they are coming over, telling us what to do. I'm playing the piano.
I do believe that this entire YouTube video is still available on his channel. I don't believe he's taken it down yet, and it is under the live category if you do want to go take a look for yourself. Just a little bit of a warning though, the video does get a little bit heated, especially when Brendan reaches out toward her Chinese flag and the man that she was with gets extremely agitated and upset, yelling at Brendan, "Don't touch her." Yeah, it gets a bit intense. Anyway, the reason that I did want to discuss this issue with you today is because I want to hear your thoughts about the topic of free speech and especially the freedom to film, especially in public. So myself, as someone who has a YouTube channel, I've made over 300 videos at this point. I'm trying to decide how I would react to this situation if it happened to me. Now, if you have watched my channel before, you will know that I often film in public. I film in restaurants, night markets, busy shopping streets. I film all over the place in Taiwan. Right now, for example, I am filming in perhaps the busiest place in all of Kaohsiung at the moment. You can see there are literally dozens and dozens of people walking past doing their shopping for the upcoming Lunar New Year holiday. Now, as far as I can tell, in Taiwan, it is generally legal to film videos like this in public as long as you are not doing it secretly. And because I'm not filming anyone specifically for any length of time. That makes sense to me. Imagine if I was trying to film this video and I had to stop every single person that walked past if they wanted to be on camera and in my YouTube video. That would be nearly impossible. But of course, this becomes a respect issue. If someone specifically came up to me and asked not to be filmed, of course I would respect their decision. That's actually happened to me a few times at night markets. For whatever reason, whenever I try to film a fruit stand at a night market, they will often wave me away and tell me that I'm not allowed to film or take pictures of them. I'm not sure why that only happens at fruit stands. Maybe you can let me know in the comments why that would be the case. Also, I know that in 7-Eleven we generally need to ask the permission of the manager before we do any filming inside their stores. But overall in Taiwan, I've never really had any issues at all filming in public. Of course, if I film inside a restaurant or a shop, I always ask, 可以拍照吗? You know, I ask if I'm allowed to film there, and they always say yes. I think the main point that I'm trying to say is to always respect people, respect their privacy, and respect their businesses. And besides, I think my videos are pretty positive anyway. I always try to show people in the best light. So yeah, as I said, I've never really had any issues filming in public here in Taiwan. And in Canada, where I'm from, the rule is actually quite clear. It says that in Canada, it is legal to take pictures and audio and video recordings of people in a public space, as there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. You are free to use the photos or video recordings for non-commercial use, including sharing on social media. And actually, the only time I've ever had a problem filming in Canada was when I was at the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, filming one of my first YouTube videos ever. And at one point, I must have pointed the camera towards a special garage door for politicians, because at that point, a police officer came up to me and asked me to delete the footage, which I did. I had to film the entire 10-minute segment again, but don't worry, I'm not salty about that. Same goes for Taiwan. I know that it is illegal to film at any military bases or military operations, which makes sense for national security. But going back to Brendan Kavanagh's video, well, it turns out the video went viral, getting almost 10 million views in a few days. It seems that from the comments, most people are taking Brendan's side, and that indeed there is no reasonable expectation of privacy, especially in a busy London train station. And I was thinking, because he is a YouTuber whose channel is based on him playing piano in public spaces, that's technically his job as well. Does that make a difference that it's his job? Does it make any difference that he's actually making money from these videos? Let me know what you think in the comments. So unfortunately for that group, this kind of became a piano gate situation, and now literally millions of people have seen that video. Everyone online has heard their voices, and sleuths have even dug up and shared their names online because, you know, it's the internet, and the internet does not let sleeping dogs lie. To me, the greatest irony is that if that group hadn't said anything to Brendan, literally none of this would have happened, and I'm sure no one would have even noticed them in the background of his video. The very fact that they came up to him and said that they don't want to be filmed actually made it so that millions of people would in fact see them. There's a term for this. It's called the Streisand effect, which states that the simple act of trying to repress something they don't like online is likely to make it so that something that most people would never ever have seen is now seen by more people. In this case, millions of people. So this story is still ongoing, and in fact it's been picked up by the international news media, and I believe it's becoming a little bit of an international incident between the UK and China. So we will see where this story goes from here. But this incident does in fact make me feel grateful that I live in a country like Taiwan, where we do have so many more freedoms than certainly many other countries around the world. In fact, it has been reported that Taiwan ranks first in Asia with regards to freedom of the press, ahead of Korea and Japan. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know you're probably busy getting ready for your own Lunar New Year celebrations. But I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about this topic? Do you mind if you end up on other people's pictures or videos while you're walking around in public? Are any of you from a country like Japan, where I would say the people might lean more towards privacy from what I've heard? Do you agree with Brendan that he should be able to film whatever he wants in public? Or do you agree with that group asking him to delete the video because they showed up in it? Do you think it's okay that I'm filming this video in such a busy area in Taiwan? Will these people mind? I think it's a complicated subject, but I always try to do my best to respect the wishes of all those people around me, especially here in Taiwan, because even though I have been living here for many years, I still consider myself a visitor here, and I want to do my best to respect this culture. And you know me, the only reason I even film these videos is because I love Taiwan and I love sharing my experiences here in Taiwan from my perspective. So please do let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Let's try to get a discussion going, and maybe we can all learn from each other. And while you are down there, you may as well give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. That really helps me a lot. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Happy New Year, 新年快乐, and if you guys have any ideas for me to film something during Chinese New Year, also let me know in the comment section down below, and I will happily film that. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. And by the way, my birthday is coming up February 8th, so a very exciting time of year.